So welcome to the revision session of CARO 2020. Very easy topic, and trust me, you can score really well in this in exams. So first of all, let's talk about the applicability. Sir, CARO 2020 is applicable to all the companies except Bassi Private Limited. Sir, Bassi Private Limited means it is not applicable to a banking company. It is not applicable to a small company. It is not applicable to a Section 8 company, not an insurance company, not a one-person company, and even not applicable to a private limited company. That is neither the holding nor the subsidiary of a public company. Now that private limited company needs to satisfy three conditions. What? Up to 1 crore, up to 1 crore, up to 10 crore. What is up to 1 crore? What is up to 10 crore? So first of all, its equity, that is the paid up capital and reserves, should be up to 1 crore. Then its borrowings should be up to 1 crore. Okay? Borrowings from banks and financial institutions, they should be up to 1 crore throughout the year, throughout the financial year. Then the turnover should be up to 10 crore as per the financial statement. Okay? Okay, sir. Plus CARO 2020 is not applicable to CFS except the clause 21 that we discussed at the end. Now, sir, there is a para 3 in that there are 21 clauses. Let's recall them all. First of all, the clause 1 talks about PPE. PPT of PPE. Sir, what do you mean by PPT? PPT means proper records of property, plant and equipment and intangible assets. Second P is about your physical verification. It should be done at reasonable intervals. It should be done at reasonable intervals. Plus, in case there was a material discrepancy. In case there was a material discrepancy noticed in verification, it should be properly dealt in the books of accounts. Then you talk about T for title deeds. Whatever are the title deeds of immovable properties, they should be in the name of company. If not in the name of company, you need to disclose the details. What are the details? Details of the property, amount of the property. If not in the names of the company, then in whose name it is. Okay? Very simple. Then for how long it is going on. If it is not in the name of company, either it is in the name of promoter or employees, some hanky-panky is going on. Plus you need to give the reason for not being in the name of company. It can be a dispute. Plus there is one thing which is exempted, leased property. Properties which are on lease cannot be in your name. And the last 2 points were the special points of revaluation and benami. Revaluation should be done by the registered valuer of all types of assets. Plus in case the change after revaluation is 10% or more. In which value? Gross value or net value? Gross value or net value? Net value. 10% or more in the aggregate of net carrying value of each class of PPE or intangible asset, you need to report it. Okay, sir. Second thing is, you need to see whether there is any proceeding, any case under the Benami Act for holding the Benami property, that should be disclosed in the financial statement. Again, that you need to report as an auditor. Now comes the clause 2, whether it is AS2, in AS2 you talk about inventory. Inventory, just two things, physical verification, working capital sanction of more than 5 crore. What about physical verification? Three simple things. Physical verification done at reasonable interval, proper coverage of all the items and proper procedures followed. And third point is material discrepancy. Nahi sir, discrepancy of 10% or more. Discrepancy of 10% or more. In PP it was material discrepancy. Here it is 10% or more in the net carrying value of each class of, not the net carrying value, in the aggregate value of each class of inventory as per the books of account. Clear? Clear, sir. Now you talk about the working capital sanction of more than 5 crore by a bank or financial institution. If yes, then you need to file quarterly statements. As an auditor, just report whether these quarterly statements agree with the books of accounts or not. Then you talk about clause number 3, my favorite clause. It is my favorite clause, sir. Clause 3 talk about what? Legs day. Third day is the legs day. It talk about legs, that is the loans, investment, guarantee, security. Say with me. Loans, investment, guarantee and security. So what about the loans, investment, guarantee and security? First of all, talk about the loans. That is the loans, guarantees and securities. Sir, whatever were the loans or advances in the nature of loans, guarantees or security, you need to bifurcate them between the SAJV and the others. SAJV means subsidiary, associate, joint venture and the others. What you need to bifurcate? Amount you lend during the year plus the total amount outstanding on the balance sheet date. But remember, this is not applicable to the companies whose main business is lending only, whose principal business is lending only. Okay, sir. Second, you talk about LIGs. So LIGs means loans, investment, guarantees and securities. Whatever were the terms and condition, they are not prejudicial to the interest of the company. Okay, sir. Then you talk about loans only. Whether it was any loans or advances in the nature of loans which have been granted during the year. Okay. whether the terms of repayment have been stipulated, ठीक है, whether the schedule of repayment have been stipulated, that means the table is made when the principal will come, when the interest will come, plus the repayments and the receipts are regular. If not regular, tell the amount overdue for more than 90 days plus the steps taken by the company to recover the amount. Now, why did this happen? Why did these bad loans happen? Because of the bad loans. Sir, what were the two types of bad loans? One which was expected to be due within the year, but the company refreshed it. Refreshed means either it renewed it, extended it, or fresh loan was issued. Then again, you need to mention the amount of loan and its percentage to the total loans. And the last point is, loan was issued during the year without any due date. That means it is repayable on demand or without any terms of repayment. Again, you need to mention the amount, percentage to the total loan, and the amount given to the relatives and promoter. Remember, again, this second last point is not applicable to the companies whose principal business is to give loans. Got it? Got it, sir. Now the pain of the leg day is continued on the fourth day. That means you need to comply with section 185, 186. If not, auditor will report it. Now comes the fifth day, that is the deposits. On the fifth day, what you do? Deposit the amount in saving account, because for first 4 days, all the expenses are done. In case of deposit, you just need to comply with two things: RBI ka directives and section 73 to 76. Learn it. RBI ka directives and section 73 to 76. If not, auditor will report the non-compliance. Plus, if you don't comply with the same, there can be orders of the RBI, orders of the NCLT, orders of the company law board. You need to report as an auditor whether the company complied with those orders or not. Okay, sir. Then comes the clause number 6. There is no technique to remember this. Just remember, this is a residuary clause, so you'll be able to recall it. Section 148 requires some companies to maintain cost records who have a turnover of 35 crore or more. So if you have a turnover of 35 crore or more, central government can ask you to maintain the cost record. So auditor has to report whether the company is maintaining the cost records or not. Got it, sir? Sir for 7, sir for statutory dues. S for 7, S for statutory dues. Very easy. Two types of statutory dues: undisputed, disputed. Undisputed, disputed. What about the undisputed statutory dues? There is no dispute, so deposit it on time. That means whether it was TDS, whether it was income tax, GST, PF, ESI, etc. Whether the company is regular in depositing. If not, the amount which is overdue for more than 6 months, okay, as on the last day of financial year, reported. Okay. In case of dispute, just mention the forum where the dispute is pending and the amount of dispute. Got it? Yes. Acha, if I am just making a representation to the department for a show cause notice, it is not a dispute. Dispute means there should be an appeal going on. There should be a fight going on. Okay, sir. Now let's talk about the income tax disclosure clause 8. That was the numerology clause. Numerology means it is related to 1961. Total comes out to be 8. That means in case you have surrendered any income as a part of the income tax assessment to the income tax authorities, as an auditor, you need to see whether there's undisclosed income, whether that undisclosed income has been made a part of the books of accounts or not. Got it? Got it, sir. Now comes clause 9, ulta pulta of clause 3. Just shift your approach. Ulta pulta of clause 3, that means it's just the opposite of clause 3. In clause 3, you gave the loan. In clause 9, you have taken the loan and defaulted. Just indicate the nature of default. Who was the party, amount of loan, that amount is of principal or interest, remarks if any, and what was the period of default. That's it. Who is defaulting is called a willful defaulter. Easy. Why is the default happening? Because you are not utilizing it for the purpose you took the loan. Okay? Second thing, short term utilized for long term. Default is bound to happen. Last 2 points are about SAJV. You are helping the SAJV, you are acting as a devil. What was the point of helping a SAJV? You have taken the loan for the meeting of obligations of SAJV. Okay, sir. And the next point was, you have taken the loan by pledging your securities in the SAJV, and in case you have made a default, you need to disclose the same also. Clause 10, get excited. Clause 10, you get excited. 10 tara IPO lag gaya hamara. We got an IPO. Excited. So what is 10 about? IPO, FPO. That means in case you raise some money from the public through shares or debt instruments via IPO or FPO, you need to utilize it for the purpose you have mentioned in prospectus. If you have not, auditor will report the same. Auditor will report the amount diverted plus what are the corrective actions any if you took. Okay, sir. Plus you talk about preferential allotment, private placement, section 42, 62. Again, you talk about the utilization. Then comes clause 11. What was the part about 11? Sir, Don. 11 countries police is after Don because he has done a fraud. 3 parts about this fraud. First of all frauds. Any fraud by the company, any fraud on the company has to be reported in this case. Got it, sir. Second thing, 143.12 fraud, and third part about the whistleblower complaints. Then you talk about Nidhi, who is coming at 12 p.m. Excited Srinath says Nidhi is coming. So let's play this sound for Srinath. Come on, Srinath. Yeah, excited. So भाई साहब Nidhi is coming at 12 p.m. ठीक है, don't take it to your heart, just for remembering it, memory technique. ठीक है. What is the first part? 12 only. That is 12, 12, 12, 1 is to 20. That means you need to maintain a ratio between your capital and liability. That is the net owned funds to deposit ratio of 1 is to 20. Got it, sir? And 10% unencumbered deposit. That means 10% of your deposit should be free of charge. And the last point is any default by the Nidhi company in repaying back. So repaying back what? Repaying back the deposits or interest on them. Then you start with the circle. Then we start with the circle. Sir, what was the circle? Very, very easy. First of all, we talk about clause number 13, unlucky related party. What are the two things you check as an auditor? It has complied with section 177, 188. Got it. And second thing, it has been disclosed as per the accounting standard. Then you talk about the internal audit. Again, two things. The internal audit system is is commensurate with the size of the organization and nature of the business. Got it. Plus, as a statutory auditor, how you have considered his report. Now, this related party was caught by the internal auditor and he told that there is no cash in the organization. Non-cash transaction with the directors and their related person. You need to see the compliance with section 192. Make sure you go through that section. Promise? Promise, sir. Now, sir, how to get the cash? RBI. 4 clauses of RBI. Jaldi se recall. Sir, 4 points of RBI were very simple. First of all, NBFC. Whether the company is required to be registered under section 45 IA, registration करवाइए. ठीक है. Second thing, is it carrying out the business of NBFC or a housing finance company without taking the registration? Then the next 2 points about CIC. Whether the company is a CIC as defined as per the RBI criteria. Yes, is it fulfilling the criteria? Second thing, if it is exempted from a CIC, whether it is fulfilling the criteria. And last part is, in case a group has more than one CIC, you need to disclose the number of CIC. So first of all, talk about the CIC, and in case a group means consolidated financial statement. If it has more than one CIC, you need to disclose the number of CIC. Got it? Got it, sir. Now let's talk about RBI gave the cash, but we did a cash loss. In case of cash loss, you just need to report whether there was a cash loss in the current year and in the previous year. If any year, report the amount of cash loss. Now auditor resigned. Whether before you any auditor resigned, yes, if you whether you considered those issues, objections raised by the previous auditor. Now, sir, going concern, very, very easy. Clause 19 was about going concern. So on the basis of 5 things. What were those 5 things? Financial ratios, financial assets, financial liabilities, any other information, or management plans. Considering all these 5 things, whether entity has no material uncertainty regarding the payment of liabilities within the next 12 months. Okay, just remember these keywords. That's it. That's all about going concern. Now, clause 20, I forgot. IPL 2020, who comes? Neeta Ambani. So, Neeta Ambani comes and she talks about CSR. She talks about the Reliance Foundation. So, in this case, Baba, you just need to remember these 2 things, sir. What? In case the unspent amount is there, you need to deposit in the Schedule 7 fund within how many days? The days need 6 months. Within 6 months from the end of financial year. Got it, sir. Second thing, if you want to create a bigger impact by making a school or project or a hospital, you need to accumulate the funds. So if it is related to an ongoing project, it needs to be transferred to a special account, like you are special. Oh, blushing, sir, blushing. Now comes the last part, that is qualification in CFS. So in case you are making a CFS, that is a consolidated financial statement, and in that CFS there are a lot of number of entities: parent company, subsidiary, subsidiary 2, subsidiary 3. Now in their individual CARO reports, there can be some qualifications or adverse remark. You just need to make a summary of the same. That means the name of the company, para number, and nature of contravention. 13 minutes 55 seconds. How are you feeling? जल्दी से बताओ. Everyone, please let me know. CARO 20. Done, 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 done. See, you did this topic in intermediate also. Don't lie. ठीक है? You studied this in inter. How was your experience of CA final? Come on, come on, come on. How was it? All the points, ठीक है? We have covered point to point. Awesome. Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself, the patience with which you sat through the class. Clap for yourself. आग लगा दी. अरे भाई साहब, आग लगा दी. So yeah, thanks a lot everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Make sure before attending the next section you practice the question bank. The questions are very easy. ICAR doesn't make tough questions in audit. Okay? So just enjoy it. And yes, I hope you have a great day ahead. And yes, let's catch up in the next class.